Well, Ruth was talking about the censorship there, and of course, we must remember that it was a story of vaccine injury, which resulted in UK column being censored by YouTube and Vimeo in 2021 or 2022, whenever that was. That is clear that a message went out that should be the case. And speaking of censorship, we'll just mention that a couple of days ago, Ofcom launched its shiny new digital toolkit to help businesses comply with the new online safety rules. This is because the Online Safety Act 2023 is supposedly actually in force now. So there you go. So this includes responsibilities for platforms to complete an illegal content risk assessment and comply with illegal content safety duties, record keeping, review duties, other obligations, and so on. So let's just have a quick look here. So they're saying that there's a need to understand which kinds of illegal content to assess and to make accurate judgments about the risks. Just think about that. It's a need to understand which kinds of it's not all illegal content, it's which kinds. So they're already limiting the kinds of illegal content that are coming under this assessment. And my question then is, what is their definition of illegal content?
Yeah, illegal to show or a depiction of illegal activities or
precisely. So it's there's plenty of scope for what that might be. So assess the risk of harm for each kind of priority illegal content. So now we're talking about that on a service and other illegal content. Identify any relevant measures that can be implemented to address risk, record and make record of their assessment, understand how to keep their risk assessments up to date, and put in place steps to review it. So these are the 4 steps that Ofcom is talking about. Now, the release of this digital toolkit follows their announcement that websites which provide a platform to any pornographic material, including social media platforms, will now be required to have what they describe as robust age verification measures in place. We've talked about this many times. This is basically using the cover of protecting children to implement a digital ID scheme. And to reinforce this, Ofcom has fined MintStars Ltd because they were not conforming to the requirements to have what they describe as robust age verification in place on their website. Now, this seems to be an OnlyFans competitor, but Ofcom fined them £10,000, but gave them a £3,000 rebate discount because MintStars cooperated with them. So this is like you've had a speeding ticket or something. You know, if you pay within a certain time, you get your rebate on it.
That's very sporting of them,
isn't it? So not much of a deterrent though, because if you're running a commercial organisation like that, £7,000 fine isn't really. That's the cost of doing business, I would have thought. But anyway, the point here is we shouldn't be separating this from the recent gov.uk announcement of digital ID, a digital wallet for digital ID. So before we get onto that, let's just have a look at the Ofcom statement on MintStars. They said specifically, we found that the content of a pornographic nature was available on the platform and accessible to any person who accessed the site, both through short preview videos and following subscription to particular creators' content. We found that self-declaration by users that they were over 18 and a general disclaimer within MintStars terms and conditions that the site was only for adults were not appropriate forms of age verification to protect under 18s from accessing pornographic or other restricted material. And just to remind everybody, of course, as we just mentioned, the new gov.uk digital wallet just happens to be coming out at around the same time as this age verification requirement and so on. Just coming back to Trump for a second, as we mentioned on Wednesday's program, he issued an executive order removing all government censorship on the social media platforms in the United States. So a few points to make here. The first is that, for example, Ivor Kaplan's X profile was full of explicit pornographic content. So I'm wondering, will this mean that X is going to have to impose this new digital ID regime on? Because there's plenty of that kind of material on there.
Well, Elon, after his visit to Israel, coincidentally, maybe not, but he turned X into one of the largest pornographic platforms in the world.
Right.
Before that, under the Dorsey regime, they had more strict regulations on porn. Elon basically opened up the floodgates and turned it into a porn fest, basically. So they're going to fall foul of a lot of this stuff, especially in Europe.
Right.
So it's,
right. And which brings me on